Hey everyone, welcome back to Speak Power Daily. I'm Charlotte.
And I'm Nick. Good to be back.
So today's topic is actually one of my favorite ones because it's something we all use like every single week.
Ooh, okay. I'm curious now.
We're talking about how to talk about your weekend in English. You know, that moment on Monday morning when someone asks, "So, how was your weekend?"
Oh my gosh, yes. And honestly, for a lot of English learners, that simple question is kind of terrifying.
Right? Because it seems so easy, but then you freeze. You're like, it was good?
It was good. And then silence.
Exactly. So today we want to give people some real, natural phrases they can actually use, not textbook stuff.
Not, I went to the cinema and then I ate dinner. Like robot English.
Robot English. I love that. Okay, so let's start simple. When someone asks about your weekend, the most common question is just, "How was your weekend?" Or, "What did you get up to?"
Oh, that one. Get up to. That trips people up. It just means, what did you do?
Yeah, it's super casual. Like, "What did you get up to on Saturday?"
And you could answer with something like, not much, honestly. I just relaxed at home.
Which, by the way, is a totally normal answer. You don't need an exciting story every time.
True. I actually had a pretty boring weekend last week.
Did you?
Yeah, I had plans to go hiking, but then it rained the whole time, so I basically just stayed in and watched a couple of movies.
See, that's a perfect example. I had plans to, but then, that's such a useful structure.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
It shows what you wanted to do and what actually happened. Learners love that kind of contrast because real life is full of it.
Right, like nothing ever goes exactly as planned.
Exactly. So, another common one is talking about small, everyday things, like, "I slept in on Saturday," which means you woke up late on purpose.
Or the opposite. I woke up early and went for a run.
Mm-hmm. And if you did something with friends, you might say, "I hung out with some friends," or "We grabbed lunch together."
Grabbed lunch. That one always confuses beginners. They think, wait, grabbed? Like physically grabbed?
I remember one of my students asked me that exact question.
It just means you had lunch somewhere casual, nothing fancy.
Right. English has a lot of these little expressions that don't translate word for word.
Which is honestly what makes it fun, but also frustrating sometimes.
Definitely both. Okay, so let's say your weekend actually was exciting. Maybe you traveled somewhere or tried something new.
Then you might say something like, I finally tried that new restaurant downtown. Or, we took a little day trip to the coast.
Ooh, a day trip. That sounds nice.
It was really nice, actually. We just drove out, walked along the beach for a bit, had some seafood.
See, now you're painting a picture. That's the difference between a flat answer and one that actually keeps the conversation going.
Yeah, and that's actually a really good point, because when you give someone a little detail, they usually ask a follow-up question.
Exactly. Like if I just say, "I went to the beach," the conversation kind of ends there.
Right, but if you say, I went to the beach and the water was freezing, but we still went in, now there's something to react to.
That happened to you, didn't it?
Oh, 100%. My girlfriend convinced me the water would be fine. It was not fine.
See, that's a great little story. And it's not even complicated English. It's just specific.
Yeah, specific but simple. That's the goal.
So let's talk about some phrases for when your weekend was, honestly, kind of stressful. Because not every weekend is relaxing.
Oh, definitely not. Sometimes you spend the whole weekend doing chores.
Right, and you could say, I spent most of the weekend running errands, which means doing small tasks, shopping, cleaning, that kind of thing.
Or catching up on stuff, which is a nice vague way to say you were busy with random things.
I use that one all the time. Catching up on stuff. It covers everything from laundry to emails.
It really does. It's the perfect non-answer answer.
And if you're tired after the weekend, you might say, honestly, I need another weekend to recover from this one.
Oh, that's such a real sentence. People say that all the time.
It is. And it's funny because it's kind of a joke, but it's also true.
What about when someone had a family event, like a birthday or something?
Good one. You could say, we had a family get-together, or it was my nephew's birthday, so we celebrated at my sister's place.
Get together is such a useful word. It just means a small casual gathering.
Right. Doesn't have to be huge or formal.
I actually had one of those last weekend, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my cousin came into town, so a few of us just met up for dinner. Nothing crazy, just good food and a lot of talking.
That sounds lovely, actually.
It was, although we stayed out way later than I planned.
That always happens.
Every single time. I told myself, I'll be home by 10, and then suddenly it's midnight.
Classic. Okay, so here's a phrase I think learners really need. It flew by.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Like, the weekend flew by, meaning it felt really short, like it went too fast.
Which, let's be honest, every weekend does.
Every single one. Meanwhile, the work week just drags.
Don't remind me.
Sorry. Okay, and on the flip side, if your weekend felt long, in a good way, you could say, it felt like a mini vacation.
That's a nice one too, especially if you actually managed to unplug a little.
Right, unplug, meaning you stayed away from your phone or work stuff.
I really need to do that more.
Don't we all?
So, okay, here's a question. What about when somebody asks you about your weekend and honestly, nothing happened? Like, genuinely nothing.
That happens more than people admit.
Right, and I feel like learners panic in that moment because they think they need a whole story.
You really don't. You could just say, nothing special, just took it easy. And that's a completely normal thing to say.
Took it easy. I like that one. It sounds relaxed just saying it.
It does, doesn't it? Or you could say, I kept it low-key this weekend.
Oh, low-key is such a common word right now. People use it for everything.
Everything. That movie was low-key really good. I'm low-key tired. It just means kind of, or somewhat, in a casual way.
It's funny how one word can just spread into so many situations.
That's English for you. Okay, so let's flip it around now. What if you want to ask someone else about their weekend, not just answer?
Right, because the conversation goes both ways.
Exactly. So besides, how was your weekend, you could ask, did you do anything fun? Or any plans this weekend? If it's still coming up.
And if they mention something interesting, you'd naturally ask a follow-up like, oh, nice, how was that? Or, wait, how did that go?
Yes, and that second one, how did that go, is great when someone mentions something a little uncertain, like a first date or a job interview.
Oh, good example. Like, I had a first date on Saturday. Oh, how did that go?
Exactly that energy.
I actually had a friend text me that exact update this weekend.
Wait, really? How'd it go?
Surprisingly well, actually. They're already planning a second one.
Aw, that's really sweet.
Yeah, I was happy for them. Anyway, where was I?
Follow-up questions.
Right, so another useful one. If someone says their weekend was busy, you could ask, busy in a good way or busy in a stressful way?
Oh, I love that distinction. Because busy alone doesn't tell you much.
Exactly. Busy could mean fun busy or exhausted busy.
Huge difference. And if someone tells you they traveled somewhere, a natural question is, was it your first time there? Or would you go back?
Those keep the conversation going without sounding like an interview.
Right, it should feel curious, not like a checklist.
True. Honestly, I think that's the biggest mistake learners make. They focus so much on grammar being perfect that the conversation stops flowing naturally.
Totally agree. A slightly imperfect sentence with real curiosity is way better than a perfect sentence that kills the conversation.
Exactly. Confidence over perfection.
So let's put some of this together with a quick example, just so people can hear it in context.
Ooh, okay, let's do a mini dialogue.
All right, I'll start. Hey, how was your weekend?
Pretty good, actually. We took a little day trip to the coast, walked around, grabbed some seafood. It flew by, honestly.
Oh, nice. Was it your first time there?
No, we'd been before, but it's always worth going back.
See? That's it. That's a completely natural conversation, and there's nothing complicated in there at all.
Right, it's just simple, honest sentences with a little detail added in.
And that little detail is really what makes it sound human instead of like a textbook answer.
I think that's the main thing we want people to take away today. You don't need fancy vocabulary.
Not at all. You need a few natural expressions and the confidence to just talk.
Even if you make a mistake, honestly, most native speakers won't even notice.
We really don't. We're too busy thinking about our own weekend stories.
That's fair. That's very fair.
So if you're listening and thinking, okay, but I still don't know what to say, just try this. Pick 2 or 3 phrases from today.
Yeah, like took it easy, or it flew by, or I had plans to, but then,
Exactly. And just practice using them out loud, even if you're just talking to yourself.
which sounds a little silly, but it really works.
It really does. Repetition builds confidence, even alone in your room.
Especially alone in your room. No judgment there.
True, no pressure that way.
Honestly, I think this is one of those topics that seems small, but it comes up constantly. Every Monday, every group chat.
Every single time. So hopefully today gave you a few tools to actually enjoy that conversation instead of dreading it.
I think it will. This was a fun one.
It really was. All right, everyone. That's it for today's episode.
Thanks so much for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye!